Hi and welcome to the training today. Today we'll be going over the two new sections to the Gaming Commission's app, or the Compliance Department's application today. Since the end of 2024, two new sections has been added. Again, the application is free to use without any registration. And we'll get started here. We'll start off with the SDS section, and I'll go over that in a little bit here. Okay, so once you log into the application, within the tabs here, you'll notice that there's a new tab. It's called SDS, and that stands for Safety Data Sheet. So inside the dash, you'll have, inside the tab, you'll have the commands to your left. And on the right here, on this list here, you'll have the 90 days records. Okay, so for example, if I was to click on one of these IDs here, it'll open up that data sheet there. Okay, I'll close out of that, and I'll go back to here. If you click on the plus sign here, it'll expand the fields below it, and these are just the updated fields here. Okay, so I'm gonna start a brand new option here. So I'm gonna start a new one here. So the SDS is for mainly to document inspections of safety data sheets, and to record those data data sheets information into the database so that you can generate reports off of it. I'll click on the new one here. Okay, so inside each form, you'll notice that on the left here, it gives you the options to input new information here. In the middle here, see if you can see my mouse cursor moving there. Okay, so this mainly contains the hazards, the list hazards, and the state of matter, or also referred to as SOM on the front sheet. And then we are using the NFPA 704 Diamond. OSHA uses a little bit, their standards are a little bit different, but one of the main reasons for the NFPA 704 Diamond is that a lot of fire department uses this standard instead of the OSHA standard. So there's a little bit different here. For example, if you see the code here, these hazard codes, OSHA is actually opposite. It's actually ranked downwards, and NFPA is ranked upwards. So most of the fire departments in the US uses the NFPA. So just a little bit note on that part there. So here I'm gonna fill out a brand new SDS here, and the status will be set to active, and we'll name this something like cleaner or something. Okay, and identification number, we're just putting some numbers there. Departments, let's say this goes to the hotel. Location, let's say it's hotel lobby. And a description of the item, and you can find most of this information within the chemical safety data sheet of the item that you're inputting in. Okay, so this description is yellow box cleaner. Okay, state of matter, let's say it is a liquid. Okay, now most of these information here, the blue, red, yellow, and white, these are found on your the safety data sheet, so you can just transfer that over to it. So here we'll choose the health effect. We'll just say level 2. Red flammability, let's say it's 4. Now you also notice that there's some code setting here. So anything with the 4 setting, which is depending on the area of the diamond. For example, you have health hazard, 4 is deadly. Fire hazard, 4 is below 73. White, the different types of hazards, special hazards. Instability, 4 is may detonate. So you can find some of these information on the data sheet of the item that you're inputting. Yellow, let's say, just make that up and just say it's a 4. If you change these to the 3, it'll be in orange, and anything below that will be in white. So the color coding just give you a visual identification of the hazard, the individual hazard that this product or item might have. So special white hazard. Now white hazard is a little bit different, and based on the NFPA codes, it could be any one of these. So let's say it is a simple asphyxiant. Okay, the log, I can log in and say, I'll ask them to the data log here and say inspected the chemical. Okay, you can also include a picture of it, and this is important because for OSHA's regulations, they do require you to have the safety data sheets of dangerous chemicals and compounds. So we'll say picture of SDS. Okay, then we can attach a file, an image file to it, and I'll just attach. Let me go here and we'll go to my pictures here, see if I have anything here. Let's see, desktop here, DB images. We'll add President Trump in there. Okay, so this is where you will actually take a photo or a copy of your SDS and save it onto a network share, and then attach that file to this particular item here. Okay, so once you're done with this, I'm going to close out of that. Okay, I'm going to refresh my system here. I'm going to go back into the SDS section, and you'll see that new item now is added there. Okay, so this list here will show you the last 90 days. Okay, and if we check the log here, we expand the field here, you can see where I inputted inspected the chemical. Okay, so on the left hand side here, you can search by the SDS name, number, you can search by departments, the state of matter, status search, if it's active, if it's inactive. For example, this item here, this is an active item. Okay, location, keyword, you can search by users. Blue, you can search here, and if anything with the hazard of 4, you can search for that. Okay, and then it'll show all the hazards that are 4. Okay, let's look at red here. Let's do a 4 search. Anything with the 4 in the red, flammability will appear here, and we have 2 items here. Okay, we have the gas cylinder located in warehouse 1, and we have that new item, the cleaner, that is located in the hotel lobby. Okay, you can see all. Okay, you can pan through it. You can see it in datasheet view. Datasheet view is similar to the other options on the software. When you go into datasheet view, this is a very unique and beneficial view. So for example, I can do sort and filter here. If I want it, click on this arrow here, and I want everything with the yellow area of code 4 and reactive chemicals, I could choose that, and it would filter my entire list here. Okay, so there's a lot of option here that you can use to help sort. If you need this over to Excel, you can click here and copy this and then bring it over to Excel and paste it there as well. You can filter by dates. You can filter pretty much by any columns here. Okay, so any items that are active, you can select that and say I don't want active items here, and the list will show you that, or I want all the inactive items here. Okay, so it is very useful here, the datasheet view. It's very similar to Excel. Close out of that here. Reports and corrections. Okay, So we'll go into the reports and corrections here. I'm gonna run through just one of these here. Let's say we'll go with the 4 hazard list. Okay, so it's gonna give me a date range search. So I'll just put in some wide range dates to pull everything, and let's say 2026. Okay, so your report here. So this report is used to select active or inactive, blue, red, yellow rating of 4. Okay, so anything with a rating of 4, which is high hazard, is going to appear on this list here. It's sorted by departments here. So the administration, it has 1 here, 2 items. Okay, so this is unique for this application here, and it allows you, if I go all the way to the end here, it'll tell me the summary here. I have 3 departments, 4 records. There's 1 blue, that's the high hazard, red 2, yellow 3, and special white, white special hazard count is 4. Okay, close out of this here. Okay, the corrections, if you needed to correct something. So for example, I'll click on corrections, and let's go to that new record that we just created earlier here, and I want to change that to inactive. Okay, and I'll save and close out of that, and go to view all here, and let me go to the last one. You'll see that it's changed now. Okay, so for the normal end users, if you, let's say if you click on this item here, okay, you won't be able to make changes here. Okay, and to make the changes, you have to go into the correction side to make the changes. Okay, so I'll close out of this here. Okay, look at something else here. Let's, before we leave this section here, I'll look at this here. This is the gas tank, its active status. Okay, and that's the new section of the SDS. So what this section does is it allows you to save the data sheets. It's part of OSHA's requirement. If you're familiar with OSHA's requirement for saving the SDS, it's good in case you need to do inspections on high hazard materials. You can print out a report, or you can do it by departments and do your inspection there, and then come back and then add your changes and inspection logs under each of these items here. Okay, and corrections here, update by ID here, you can update it. Let's say I have an ID number, let's say number 1 there, I can update that. Okay, and I can add a new log to it. If you click on this little arrow here, there we go. It also captures the login user's name and date and time as well. So let's say inspection completed. Good to go. Okay, so something similar to that. Save and exit. Okay, if I expand that there, I'll see that I did my inspection today. Okay, alright, we'll go to the next section. This is one of the new sections that was added towards the end of 2024. If you're using the old version, you can update to this. It's free, and transfer your data over. Now we're gonna go to the next new section, which is the slot management section here, and so it's under the More command tab here, slot section. Okay, so this is one of the new sections that was added towards the end of 2024, and this section was requested primarily for casinos in Oregon, but it can be used everywhere else as well. And this is to manage the slot systems of the slot machines on property. So let's add a brand new entry here. So you right before that, you'll notice that all your commands are on the left side. And on the right hand side here, you'll see the 90 days update. So any updates that you make for any items or any slot machines here that you're tracking, it should appear here. Slot documents. Okay, you have pictures, documents, photos, diagrams. You add those down here. Okay, so we'll start a creating a brand new one. So I'm going to click on new here. Okay, so it gives you a datasheet view here. You can expand this by dragging the fields here. It's going to automatically capture the user and the system as well. Okay, so we'll choose a slot make here. We're adding a brand new one. Let's say it's IGT machine model. Let's say it's Fortune's serial number. Okay, so I know for some of the casinos in Oregon, I believe, it's one of the requirements to track the machine number changes and machine location numbers. So this, you can use this for that as well. Denominations, let's say this is a $1 machine. Class, I'll say it's at class 3. Location, let's say it is main floor bank 6. Okay, and that's all the information I need now. So I'll close out of that. Okay, now if once you input the new information here, you can actually expand the bottom and continue making inputs as well. So let's search by ID. I'm going to refresh my system here. Okay, you'll notice that it's not added to my slot update list yet. So for example, if I go to view all, I can see it. This is my new input that I just made of the IGT machine, that Fortune's machine. Okay, I could expand that to see if there's any log change. Okay, no log change. I can add into here as well. So for example, we're gonna search by ID and we're gonna say number 6. Okay, that's the brand new one that we just did it. Okay, and we did an update on this from the category here. I can choose from critical, inspection, move, retire, update. So let's say we did an inspection on this and say inspected slot machine for par. Okay, close out of that and it'll save that. Okay, I'll refresh my list here and you'll see that once we added that information there, that machine appears on our 90 days slot update list. Okay, you can click on the ID to open the item and you'll see that this person here did an inspection. Okay, I can add more too. I could say let's say updated, let's say changed it, the plate on the machine. Okay, close out of that. Okay, refresh and you'll see that it appears again, that someone did something to this machine again, and gives you the detail here as well. Okay, so we're gonna go down to you can search by the view all active. These are all the active machines I have. View all shows you all the inactive as well. Now remember, when you're in datasheet view here, there's two here. There's the view all and then there's the view all expanded. Okay, so you don't have to manually expand the change log under each item manually, such as in this option here where I have to click on the plus sign here to expand it to see all the logs there. Okay, I can just use the view all expanded option and I get to see everything. Here you can also add new change logs as well. Okay, remember also the datasheet view, it gives you a lot of options. If you use these down arrow keys here, you can filter and sort them as well. Let's say I only want to see all the inactive. I'll choose that, click OK, and it'll show you all the inactive. Okay, so remember, you can use these filters here to sort. If I want to sort by just the make, I can choose that, unselect all, and let's say I only want to see IGT machines. You'll get all the IGT machines. Okay, so there's many options. You can choose by denomination as well. Let's clear this, reset this here, and let's go denomination. I want to see all the machines that have denominations of, let's say, $1 only. Let me uncheck all these and choose $1. Then they're giving me a list of just the slot machines with the denomination of $1 here. Or you can do it for the class as well. Okay, close out of that here. And let's go down to the slot document. So the slot document is an area where you can add all your documentation here, such as layouts, pictures of damages to slot machines. Let's say you have documentations for a slot machine move or transfer or in transit. You can add those down here as well. So we'll add a new document here. We're going to name this document, let's say, list of slot for January 2025. Okay, we're going to attach a file to it, and let's just put J here. Okay. Now for your doc hash, this is if you use the hash application that we built, or you can use your own. But for example, you can add a hash in here also. I believe the hash is SHA-1. Okay, so you can hash the file to make sure that and document that hash process in here, so that you can verify that file that is the original file that you added here. Okay, so we attached our file, and it gives us the path here. We can view the file as well. Okay, and let's close out of that here. I'm going to refresh my list here, and then you'll see the new item is here, and you can view it here. Okay, so we can view our documents, similar list to the 90-day list here. Now after 90 days, this list will reset for depending on the item, but you can always see the item here. Okay, this is just a shortcut right here. You can search documents as well by ID number, so that brand new one is number 5. We can search for 5 and we can view it. Okay, you can search for the hash by the hash as well. And I'll show you the reports option here. There are quite a few reports for the slots section here, mainly because there is a lot of details information, and some of these reports are critical to your operation to give you a solid idea of what machine has been inspected, which machine has not, how many active machines are on the floor, or which location on the gaming floor. Okay, so you can separate all those reports here. So I'm gonna go with the report here for all active, and this report gives me all the active machines on my casino floor. Okay, and it gives me all the change information down here as well. So for example, this first item here per se. Okay, this is IGT machine. Link, the model is Dragon Link. Okay, serial number, machine number, denomination, location, and it captures the user down here. So these detailed change logs here gives you information on when this machine was retested, updated, inspected, repaired, and etc. So you can store all that information here. I'm going to go to the end of the report here, and it'll give me a summary here that there's 5 slot machines that are active on my gaming floor. Okay, so a lot of casinos have nearly 2,000 or 2,000 machines, which this report will help you document all the changes, and if there's a failure on a particular machine, when was the last time that machine was inspected or reviewed. Okay, close that. Okay, also you can do run a report on the makes, all the different types of makes. All the makes are active. These unique report here gives you where you can it marks by type, the make type, active or inactive, and date range search. Okay, you can do it by model as well. You can do it by location active, and location type. So let me run a location here report. Okay, so I'm gonna do a date range. So I'm gonna pick, so for example, date range, the way date range works is You can do it quarterly, you can do it biannually, annually, or monthly to see the changes on where the slot machines are either being moved or inactive, active. So here I'm going to put in some wide range dates just to prove everything that I have on my database here. So let's make it 2056 here. Okay. Now it's going to ask you these questions. Do you want active or inactive? So we want only all the actives here. Okay. So enter the exact location by filter. So if you don't know where the exact locations are, okay, down below here, okay, we're on the menu list here, you can click on help list here, the help list, and it'll give you a list of all the different options that you can choose from. Okay, so here, if I'm not too sure, let's say I know I want things from bank 2, okay, you can click enter there. Okay, so what it's going to do is going to pull everything from bank 2, okay, and we chose active only. Okay, so it's going to list here. We have IGT here, one IGT. We have an aristocrat here. Okay, it gives us a summary. Okay, so on bank 2 we have 2 slot machines, 2 active, 0 inactive because we didn't choose any inactive. Okay, there's 1 location that we filter for. Okay, so I'm going to close out of that here. I'm going to click on the help list here so you can see what the entire list. So these are all the locations that are in the set in the database. So you can search all of these here, and these drop down lists here you can add or minus for. These are just samples, so you can change those inside the admin side of the application here. These are the makes that we have. This is just a short list of samples. You can add or delete these as needed. Slot models as well, and the class systems. Okay, so for example, I'll leave this open here. It'll help me with my search here. Let's say we're searching for location again. Okay, and it's gonna ask me for begin date. I'm just gonna put some wide range dates here, so I get everything that's inside my database here. Okay, and we're gonna want all active, so we'll type in active, and the exact location. So if you don't know the exact locations, you know, with your list here open, you can pick that and say, oh, I want from bank 1. Okay, so you have to type that exactly as the database list appears. Okay, and on bank 1 we have 1 machine. Okay, that's active. We chose active. You can choose also inactive to see what machine has been removed from bank 1. Let's say within the entire year last year. Okay, so it gives you some great analysis tools here. If you don't remember the you have to type in the exact location if you're using the location search for example, I want everything from here. I can copy that, okay, and then go into my location. I want by location type here, so I'll put some wide range dates here. From that date to this date here, I want all active, and I want it from Control V to paste that there from there. Okay, and it's a blank report, so there's no machine listed as active in that non-smoking area there. So close out of that. Okay, so that's what that help list is for here. Okay, and you can move this over a little bit so you can see your screen better here. Okay, so if you need help or you don't remember when I asked you for a certain location, a certain model, if you don't know how to spell it, it's listed here. So I'll do one more sample here, and I'll say I'm gonna choose the make here. Okay, so I'm gonna choose the make here, and we only want it from aristocrat. Say copy that, choose my make report here. Again, I want it from this date to that date there. Let me put 26 there. Okay, and I only want all active. Okay, and the make, I'll paste the make in there. And this is all the aristocrats that I have that are active on my slot floor. Okay, now 2 there, one's located on bank number 2 and the other is on bank 5. Okay, and you can see that bank 2 has been reviewed once on this date here by this person here. 5 here on this machine here, there has been no inspections or no reviews at all. Okay, so give you a good list to update your review and say we need to inspect that machine. Close that. Okay, there's a lot of the reports here on the left column here. On the right column here, you can do the you can run the class report. So I'll choose class 3 here. Okay, so I want all class 3 reports, and I only want all the active machines. Okay, so here it's going to filter the report by class 3. Enlarge it here so you can see a little bit better here. Okay, so this is filtering it by class 3, and it's either for active or inactive. So these are all the active machines that I have here. If I go to the end of the report, it'll give me a summary here. Okay, I have 4 slot count and 4 active machines. Now we didn't filter for the inactive, so it'll say 0 here. Okay, we only filter for one class 3. So I'll show you one class 3 count here, class count. Okay, close out of this here. Okay, now there's other reports here. This is the documents reports to list for the document section down here. The slot all status here, date range here. If I put in some Y range dates, and I'll put in some Y range dates, let's say 2026. Okay. Now when you're actually running these reports, what you would most likely be doing is either running these for the monthly or quarterly or weekly reports or annual reports. So you put in your own dates here. Okay, so I have active. I have 5 active machines on my casino floor. Okay, inactive. I have 1 inactive based on the date range that I put in. Okay, and then the summary it'll give you down here as well. Okay, so there's 6 slot count that I filtered for. 5 are active, 1 is inactive. There's 2 status type that we filter for, active and inactive. Close out of that report there. Okay, to make corrections, for example, if we're looking at, let's say, let's pull up this here. Okay, let's say I need to make a correction here, and let's say I want to change the denomination here. Okay, for ID 6 here. Okay, for this IGT machine here. Okay, so what you would do is you would go into the more reports and more, slot correction. You're going to get an alert that's going to record your changes. Okay, and we can filter it from largest to smallest as well here. Okay, and I want to make changes to ID 6 here. Okay, and we want to go to the denomination section. And let's say we change that to a $5 machine. Okay, and we'll change that and we'll close out of that. Okay, now that's saved. If you go back to it, you'll see that it's a $5 denomination change here now. Okay, and if you like, you can add something into the log down here as well. Okay, so I'll say changed it, the denomination to from $1, use a $sign there, $1 to $5. Okay, close out of that to save. Okay, refresh my list. Okay, and you'll see it'll show here that new input here as well. So anytime you make you add anything to the change log, it'll show on this list here. Okay, go back to the reports and more. If you need to change something in the slot documents, you would use the second option down here. Okay, and you can make changes here, attach a new file here, or make your changes over here as well. Okay, and I'll exit out of that. Now always remember that the application logs certain things when you make changes or modifications to the application, or you access certain areas of the application. Okay, I'm going to close out of here. I'm going to go to the admin section here and go to admin section here. I'm going to log in so I can show you some of the logs here. So within the admin site, if you've seen some of the other training videos, you'll notice that when you make changes or you delete something, the application logs that into an audit list, so your actions can be audited later on, or it's inside the footprint here. Okay, so in the footprint view here, this shows and tracks each user's access in navigation to certain critical areas of the application. So on the admin side, most likely, usually the administrators will be watching this list. Okay, anything that goes into a correction area or a sensitive area of the application, it's going to track that, and it'll show you the date and time where the user is logging into the system, the current user, the application current user login, and what kind of events, log off, log in, slot correction area, and so forth. Okay, for the changes, I'm going to float view this list here. You can see that it logs the system as on this date and time, made a change on the denomination, record 6 of the denomination from 1 to 5. Okay, and close out of this here. So that is a little explanation on the 2 new sections that was added to the application. The SDS section, which it shows a lot of information here, and it uses the NFPA 704 diamond as well, so it's easier to relate this to your local fire department. If you're in the US, then most likely your fire department is going to be using the NFPA codes. Close out of that, and then the other section is the slot section here. Okay, which helps you manage your slot machines and the slot activity on the gaming floor as well. Okay, you can always print from your slot management system, either from Konami, IGT, or another system, and then use that to compare it to what you have as the compliance department or gaming commission department that needs to track all those changes. Okay, so a lot of changes aren't it's not available on their manufacturer slot system side. So that's where this application comes in. This section here will help you manage all that document, and especially the physical documents that you need to save. You can save those down here inside the slot documents as well. So for example, you have a gaming form for transportation or shipping and receiving. You can add those documents in here as well, attach a brand new document, save the hash file if you like, and store that digitally so that you don't have to go search through a file cabinet later for it. You can quickly search for it, do a keyword search. For example, I'll type here, I'll say aristocrat. Okay, put up anything with aristocrat inside here, and I can view the file here. Okay, so that's a little bit training and explanation on the 2 new sections that was added towards the end of 2024. The SDS and the slot sections, they're extremely useful. I know a lot of people has been requesting this, that they needed something to track their slot machines, and for those that follow OSHA guidelines, something to track the SDS side also, the health and safety also portion of it. So that would be it. Thank you for attending this training, and if you have any questions, feel free to send us your question, and when we have time, we can go over it, or we'll combine it into one training for a certain module that